was very good. I enjoyed your commentary as well, mate. Very well done looking after the referees and that. Appreciate it.
You're very kind. You're very kind. I didn't look after anyone. Will Hughes and Ismail Assar winning the FA Cup. Mates of yours, of course. I'm sure they had a very good night last night. Perry Groves knows what it's like to win the FA Cup. Hi, Perry.
Good afternoon, Samuel. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Did you have a good day yesterday?
I love the FA Cup final, Sam. It was a throwback, wasn't it? Obviously, all the neutrals, me included, wanted Palace to win. And I know we'll talk about, the sending off, handball, whatever it was. But as a neutral, I was so pleased that he didn't get sent off, because if he'd got sent off, then Palace had no chance. So, not a great decision, but I say it made it a better spectacle.
Yeah, and Crookie's here. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, he wants to bask in the glory, Troy, of the fact that he told everybody on Friday what the score was going to be and who was going to score the goal.
There you go.
No, but he also said seven different things as well, mate. You know what he's like.
Unbelievable. I had a great day, so I watched it with a Man City fan, good friend of mine. I'd like to say that I was, sympathetic to his plight. I wasn't. I absolutely revelled in it.
Yeah, well, just remember, you've got a cup final of your own on Wednesday, so whatever you give out will come back if you don't win. Of course, that's live on TalkSport, as yesterday was as well. The Europa League final, in fact, all the European finals are live on TalkSport. This afternoon, we're concentrating on Premier League action and a lot more besides. Ian Abrahams and Perry Groves are at West Ham against Nottingham Forest, and West Ham, I suppose, looking to build on last week's 2-0 win over Manchester United. But this is a Nottingham Forest story. They have to win, really, don't they, Perry?
Yeah, very much so. They've got to win their last two games, give them any chance of getting in the Champions League places. Actually, I think it's a bit strong that Marinakis is on the bench. So, obviously, using his power there, he'll probably come on for the last 10 minutes, a bit like he did last week. So, with West Ham's plight, Sam, Graham Potter's been in the programme saying that he thinks that there's been progress here. The results haven't really matched that progress, and he knows the pressure that he's going to be under, and he reiterated that he wanted a whole full pre-season, which a lot of the Premier League teams are going to get now, because of the international calendar. So he was basically alluding that this isn't my group of players. I've had to come in halfway through the season. But if West Ham can win both their games, they've still got a chance of coming 13th. And if you go one place up or two places up, you get another £7 million, which then goes to his pot, obviously, to go and get players that he wants in.
Well, interestingly, because I know Ian Abrahams is alongside you, he follows West Ham closely. Having read that programme and the notes that accompany Graham Potter's name, Ian, what is the view of the West Ham fan base on Graham Potter, do you think?
I think this summer is massive for him, and I think the West Ham fans think that as well. I mean, after Lopetegui, I think it was expected that it would improve, and it hasn't really. The search for a striker or more than one striker yielded only Evan Ferguson, and he's not been a success for one reason or another since he arrived here. He's on the bench with Fulcrook today, and the recruitment in the summer is going to be everything. I mean, you're saying goodbye to some real stalwarts today in Fabianski, so you're going to need a replacement goalkeeper. You're saying goodbye to Cresswell, who's been here 11 years, so you're going to need a replacement left back. And he's saying goodbye to Soufal as well, who's also been here for 5 years. So you need a right back. Now those two will be cover for Wan-Bissaka, who's been named Player of the Year, and Emerson, who've been good this season. I would suggest that they've already got to buy Todibo, because that's in the agreement. It was a loan that will be made permanent in the summer. So that's one centre half coming in. I'm afraid that for me, and I think for most people, Mavropanos is just not good enough. Kilman is too slow, so you need at least one more, if not two, centre halves. There are a lot of young kids coming back, Sam, from loan periods, like Freddie Potts, who's had 2 loan spells at Wickham and Portsmouth and smashed it on both occasions. I think the West Ham fans want to see him in the team, the likes of Skulls, the likes of Earthy, who was at Bristol City, but there has to be a significant amount of investment in this team, because at the moment it's going to finish today. If they win, they're going to finish today above Spurs, which matters in this part of the world, but that's only going to be seriously, people would have a party tonight because they'll finish above Spurs, the worst Spurs team anybody can ever remember. So there has to be investment, because this team just isn't really good enough, and from the highs of 2 or 3 years ago where they were celebrating European tracks here, there and everywhere every season, and a European trophy in Prague 2 years ago. It's now gone back to what it normally is at West Ham. Massive underachievement.
Sam and Perry, just very quickly before we kick off there, because we better focus on Nottingham Forest, who have faltered a little bit. Their only victory in the last 7 matches came against Tottenham Hotspur, you just mentioned there. Do you think that they've just hit the buffers as the season caught up with them?
Yeah, I think so, Sam. You know, the squad depth, you know, we'll have to look at again. They'll go again and invest quite strongly, because one thing Marinakis will do, he will spend money if he's got it, you know, through the PSR. But you'd have to say, I think that Nottingham Forest have actually overachieved. You know, and you think of some individual performances this season from Morgan Gibbs-White to Chris Wood up front, who's scored 20 goals. All competitions. Murillo and Milenkovic, you know, the two centre-half pairing have been outstanding. So I think it's been a really good season. And Moose just talking about West Ham winning trophies, Sam. I've just got to announce that they've just won their second trophy in 45 years because they've just got Premier League Pitch of the Season.
Oh, yeah. Great. The grass here looks exactly the same as the grass everywhere. I mean, wherever Troy is this afternoon, I bet the pitch looks great. Wherever you are this afternoon, the pitch looks great. Yet West Ham have won Pitch of the Year.
The only difference is, in Abraham's, is that we can see it from where we're sitting. In the press box at the London Stadium, it's a bit more difficult, isn't it? Let's go off to Wembley, because there's been a penalty decision. Here's Charlotte Richardson.
It's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, and as Chelsea's momentum was building towards the half-time break, they had been awarded a penalty. Erin Cuthbert chesting the ball down on the edge of the area, just invited the challenge from Celine Bizet, who lifted her leg aloft. It was a wild challenge, made no connection to the ball. Cuthbert hit the decks. The referee took the whistle to her lips, pointed towards the spot, and this is a massive moment coming up in the FA Women's Cup final. It's been an edgy, nervy contest so far with 43 minutes on the clock. We await to see who will take the penalty for Chelsea, but it is the WSL Invincibles who have the opportunity to take the lead as we head towards half-time. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0.
Charlotte, is that a soft penalty?
I don't think it's a particularly soft penalty. I think Cuthbert's done really, really well to control the ball. I think it's a moment of madness, really, from Celine Bizet. She lifts her leg aloft, like I said, and doesn't make any contact with the ball. It was right underneath the referee's nose, and it has come after a sustained period of pressure from Chelsea. I think it was just a bit of a tired, clumsy challenge, Sam.
Okay, back with you once we know the outcome of the penalty. It's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. 43 minutes gone, but Chelsea have a penalty in that game. Let's get back to Goodison Park. Adrian Durham is there for us. He was hosting the final game.
Wearing number 10 in the number 10 role, with Chris Wood, the centre forward. Joining Morato on the bench are Callum Hudson-Odoi, Shota Silva, Ryan Yates, Ramon Sosa, Danilo, Harry Toffolo, Carlos Miguel and Zach Abbott. No Willy Bolly in the squad today, and no Taiwo Awani after that nasty collision with the post in the 2-2 draw against Leicester City. Required surgery in the week, which apparently went well according to Nuno Espirito Santo. Our referee this afternoon is Sam Barrett. Wade Smith and Akil Howson are his assistants. Matt Donoghue is the fourth official. And back at Stockley Park, Darren England will be assisted by Mark Scholes. They are on VAR duty today. Warm embrace between the two managers before kick-off. West Ham can climb the table with a victory today, at only one place after Everton won the final game at Goodison Park by 2 Iliman and Jai goals to 0 against Southampton. Now we are pretty much ready to get underway. Nottingham Forest in their change kit of all pale blue, West Ham in their traditional claret and blue shirts with the white shorts and socks. They will be kicking us off, going from left to right as I look at things on my screen. And we're about to get underway. As Nottingham Forest know that with a win they can only go up one place, but crucially the Champions League dream will still be alive. We're underway at the London Stadium. West Ham play the ball back to Areola, who goes long. It's knocked forward up to the halfway line and then headed out of play by Jean-Claire Todibo. Huge travelling section roaring on Nottingham Forest, making plenty of noise as well as their man Nico Williams takes the throw in. Doesn't really come to much for Nottingham Forest. The ball bouncing around inside the Forest half. Kudus trying to bring it down unsuccessfully, and now Forest trying to build an attack through the middle, but nothing really coming of it after a bit of a loose pass from Chris Wood. And West Ham now on their left-hand side with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Turns back into his own half. Cresswell, nice ball forward to Kudus. Back then to James Ward-Prowse, who of course was on loan at Nottingham Forest for the first half of the season. Wide to Kufal. Really good cross by Kufal and a really decent header, which had to be tipped over the bar by Matt Sells. It was Thomas Souček who made contact. Souček, fresh from scoring against Manchester United last time out, came so close to breaking the deadlock inside 90 seconds. Nikola Milenkovic went for the clearing header, completely mistimed it. Souček made a really good contact, did everything right, Thomas Souček, but credit to Matt Sells, he was equal to the effort, tipping it over the bar. Ward-Prowse to take an outswinging corner for the Hammers. It's on the money again and just wide. It was Todibo who made the contact. The ball actually spun and stayed in field, and West Ham have recycled well. It'll be a cross from Cresswell this time, headed up in the air this time by Milenkovic, but not clear. Helped on by Elliot Anderson. Nottingham Forest looking a bit shell-shocked to the start of this game. Sofal trying to work something over on the far side with Wan-Bissaka, but the ball runs away from the former Crystal Palace and Manchester United man out for a goal kick. Todibo just not able to make solid contact with the header. Moved towards the near post, just couldn't get his angles right, couldn't direct it as he would have wanted. And eventually, ball goes out for a Nottingham Forest goal kick, which eventually Murillo taps back to Sells, who then clears away. Right onto the chest of Chris Wood, who brings it down well, tight to the right wing, and plays it down the line. One for Elanga to chase. Covering well was Max Kilman. Just knocks it out of play. Alright, deep in West Ham territory for Nottingham Forest. First chance we will see of them in an attacking area. Ola Aina preparing to take the throw. We've got a issue here first of all with one of the assistants, Akil Howson, with a problem with something that he has strapped around his right arm. The referee just checking it. I think everything seems to be okay for now. Referee Sam Barrett, one of the newer officials at Premier League level. So we are ready for that throw in now. Ola Aina with a big run up. Gets distance on the throw. West Ham man has gone down in the box and it's been cleared. Wide again to Aina now, who put a cross in this time. Just behind Elliot Anderson, who couldn't quite reach it. Keeping it alive is Williams on the Forest left-hand side. Ball breaks. Elanga couldn't really take it in his stride, being forced out of the area. Back to Aina. His cross this time is blocked. Out of play, another Forest throw. Only a few yards further back from where they had the last one. Aina again preparing to hurl one. He does have the short option of Nicolas Dominguez. He's waved him away. And in it goes from Ola Aina. Players jumping. Ward-Prowse. Oh, it's a good save. Excellent save by Areola. It was Morgan Gibbs-White. Space seemed to open up for him, and now another cross comes back in. Milenkovic climbing, and then Areola diving down on the loose ball. That was a big opportunity for Morgan Gibbs-White. In came the throw from Aina. Ward-Prowse and Anderson jumped for it together, and it flicked off Souček in the end into the path of Morgan Gibbs-White. Suddenly there was space for him to take the ball down and attempt the volley. Superb save though from Areola, but Forest still attacking. Another shot from Gibbs-White gets blocked on the edge of the box. Turned out as far as Anderson on the corner of the area. I'm not sure if he was trying a cross with the outside of his foot there or a shot, but he was heading quite tamely on target. And an easy one for Areola. Excellent save from the French keeper, who's taken a short pass out, receives the ball back again and clips it wide. Cresswell has to really reach to keep his header in play. Does so, but concedes possession. Foul over on the far side. Forest will have a free kick, which they take quickly. Bit of a waste. Kilman able to head it away well. Guido Rodriguez involved for West Ham United, out wide to Vladimir Sofal. He goes wide to Bowen. Bowen on the right-hand side trying to cut in field at the edge of the area. Goes past one, can't get past the second. Now Kufal with a shot, and that gets deflected. And Sels has to palm it away. And Vladimir Sofal came very close there to what would have been his first ever West Ham United goal on his 179th appearance. He was the one who found Bowen out wide. Bowen cut in field along the edge of the 18-yard box. He was well tackled, but the ball ricocheted straight back to Sofal. Tried the shot and it was deflected by Nikola Milenkovic. And Matt Sels had to react well to that. Another corner then for West Ham United. Another outswinger with his right foot for James Ward-Prowse to take. Over it comes, headed away well this time by Milenkovic. Aaron Cresswell trying to dig it out of his feet. His pass was behind Wan-Bissaka. He just about manages to keep it in play tight to the left-hand touchline. Slots one through to Bowen. Bowen into the area, skips past one defender, can't get past Milenkovic though. Big Serbian wall in the way. Forest attempted counter-attack, gets stopped pretty much at source. And West Ham are back in possession. They had to retreat all the way to Alphonse Areola. They will build again now from their right-hand side with Jean-Claire Todibo. Sofal this time. Anderson ahead of him, just slides the ball down the line. Socek gets, I was going to say well tackled by Sangare, but the loose ball then breaks to Sofal again, who then skips past Nico Williams. He couldn't then get past the combination of Sangare and the recovering Williams. And finally the ball goes out of play. Williams has gone down. I'm not sure if we'll go back for a free kick or whether it will be a West Ham throw. Couldn't see what the referee signalled. Sofal catching Williams. It will indeed be Forest ball. Williams trying another run down the wing, and this time it's Bowen who upends him. Lively start to this game. Both sides already testing the goalkeepers. Not just testing them, but bringing out the best of them. Ball over the top now for Elangi, just knocks it down. Wood will strike, and another save. Wood from 25 yards drilled it. Wasn't the most difficult for Areola, but he had to react well and palm it away. Aaron Wan-Bissaka trying to bring the ball forward now for the Hammers. Plays a nice one too, but can't get much further. Forest recover possession in the middle third of the field. Elliot Anderson to Williams. Williams with the ball over the top. It's just beyond Wood. Runs on through to Alphonse Areola. James Ward-Prowse. Now ball in field to Rodriguez. He goes over to Todibo on the right. Ball played along the West Ham back three, then forward to Rodriguez again, who's facing his own goal, so uses Max Kilman. Todibo again, a bit short of ideas at the moment. Touch for the goalkeeper. Bissaka. Kudus retreating and giving away possession. Maybe a chance here for Nottingham Forest. They played it forward to Anthony Elanga. Elanga trying to cut in field. Uses Chris Wood. Chris Wood trying to get it out of his feet. Finds Elanga again. Elanga goes down in the area. Referee not interested. Didn't look like a foul. Antti Elanga still claiming. The ball is still in play, so no chance of a check just yet. The slightest of shirt pulls from Max Kilman, but not sure that's enough for a penalty. Chris Wood did well to keep the move alive. The ball slightly behind him. He had to really dig it out of his feet and did well in traffic to... Oh, it's given away cheaply. Surely it's going to be a goal. Oh, that's dreadful from Alphonse Areola. And Nottingham Forest have taken the lead. It's Morgan Gibbs-White who scored it. 10.5 minutes gone in the game. And for all the good work from Alphonse Areola so far, he's just had a shocker there. And the number 9 shirt is handed to Morgan Gibbs-White, who holds it up as clearly Taiwo Awoniyi is at the forefront of the Nottingham Forest players' minds. You know, what an awful goal to concede. There was no real pressure on Areola. He was looking for Guido Rodriguez at the edge of his own box. He passed it straight to Morgan Gibbs-White, who was stood only 10 yards ahead of him. Really sloppy. Nothing Rodriguez could have done about it. Oh, that was really poor. How on earth Areola just didn't see the England international straight in front of him. Nuno Espirito Santo and his backroom team won't mind. They will take any goal at the moment, as has been their poor form. No wins in the last 4 in all competitions, but they've taken the lead in this one. West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham have got us moving again. Or from Ward-Prowse to Souček. He can't keep it in play. Bit of an awkward one for him. Taiwo Awoniyi, after colliding with the post in the 2-2 draw with Leicester City, needed abdominal surgery and even had to be put into an induced coma during the surgery, but still everything went well in the end, according to his manager. He's now going through his recovery period. Really nasty clash. And of course a debate about whether or not linesmen should allow play to continue with the potential offsides. But you know what would happen if they went back to the old rule? They'd flag when there wasn't an offside, and a perfectly good goal in a big game would be disallowed. You can understand why it was brought in. Everyone was happy about it in the first place, apart from the players who said we risk unnecessary injury, and that was certainly the case for Taiwo Awoniyi in the 2-2 draw with Leicester last time out. In the meantime, now Forest trying to build something and push for a second goal, but they're building very slowly. They had to go all the way back to Milinkovic and indeed then to Sells. Sells clears. Sofal climbs well, but he can only head it on to Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White now trying to come through the middle. Finds Elanga now on the left-hand side. Elanga slows things down for the moment, waits for support, finds it in Anderson. Anderson helps it in field to Nico Williams. Back out to the Swede, Elanga. Now Elliot Anderson taking over on the wing. He thinks about the cross. Finally digs one out. It's not the best. Cleared out of the area. Back on the halfway line now. Sangare. Forward. Anderson. Elanga. Williams on the outside. Drills it in. Anderson. Did he take it over the line? Yes, he did. Couldn't dig out the cross in time. His first touch a little bit heavy. Nico Williams really drilled it into him from only a few yards away. It was a difficult one to control. He was calling for the ball, Anderson, but not quite a hospital pass from Nico Williams, but certainly not the easiest one he's ever received. Elliot Anderson. And again, West Ham trying to play their way out of trouble, and again giving the ball away, this time to Ola Aina. He finds Gibbs-White. Poor pass from him to Sangare, but he's able to recover possession, find Williams. Williams down the line to Elanga. He gets knocked off the ball by Jean-Claire Todibo. Todibo down the line to Sofal. Sofal flips one forward to Kudus, but he's had the ball taken from him. Forest possession again in the middle of the park. A quarter of an hour gone. It's been a lively one at the London Stadium. Gunnar said that West Ham have nothing to play for. They do find themselves a goal down, but not for the want of trying. 2-0 win against Manchester United last time out ended a run of 8 without a win for the Hammers. Failing to beat Tottenham, throwing away a late lead against Brighton, 1-1 against Southampton. They've drawn their last 3 at home. They've never drawn 4 in a row at home in in Premier League history. The last time they did it in the top flight was in April of 1985, 40 years ago. And they will have to find a way back into this game if they are going to achieve that. Not that it's an achievement they are really seeking at the start of this game. Ball forward to Bowen, who goes down on the halfway line. Referee Sam Barrett not interested. Forest win possession back. Olaena 10 yards inside his own half, looking for a pass, has to go back to Murillo. Murillo trying to orchestrate things in the moment. Short one forward to Gibbs-White. It's coming back his way via Aina. Milinkovic now. Forward again to the Nigerian. Good use of the ball there from Forest. They were patient, waiting for a bit of space to open up, and they find it with Anderson across to the left-hand side. Nico Williams. Good tackle though by Guido Rodriguez. Possession back with the Claret and Blue. James Ward-Prowse having to stretch, does well to find Kilman. It's forward now with Wan-Bissaka. Infield Ward-Prowse turning on the halfway line. Kilman. Todibo. Now Soufal. Retreating deep is Mohamed Kudus. Todibo. This time Alphonse Areola booting the clearance away first time. He isn't going to try any fancy short passes for a while, you'd imagine. Soufal trying to make a darting run down the right hand side. It's knocked to the ground. Foul, says the referee. Free kick to West Ham, 5 yards inside Nottingham Forest territory. Soufal takes it quickly. Guido Rodriguez plays it back, but then Soufal can't return the pass again. The ball does break back West Ham's way. They've moved it over now to the left-hand side. Cresswell finds Wan-Bissaka in field. Kudus. Wan-Bissaka again. Curls in a cross, easily headed away by Elliot Anderson. Kilman linking up quickly with Cresswell. Cresswell goes wide. Wan-Bissaka feeds one through. Kudus, could he keep it in play? Oh, and Bowen was arriving at the near post. I think it had gone out of play, and it looks like the decision has been made now. And Bowen has gone down right on the goal line, with his hands covering his face, and Souček suggesting that they need the medical staff to come on. It looked like Kudus had taken the ball out of play. Yes, he had. Oh, and that was nasty. Milinkovic and Murillo quickly asking for assistance to come onto the pitch for Bowen after what happened to Awoniyi last week. Bowen becomes the second player in a Nottingham Forest match in a row to have an awkward collision with the post. Bowen didn't make contact with the ball in the end. It had just been knocked away from him well by Nikola Milinkovic under pressure. So a break in play in the 20th minute. Thomas Souček testing Matt Sells early on. Vladimir Soufal also forcing a save from the Belgian keeper. But nothing too much for the West Ham forwards to feed off. They might be forced into a change here. I'm sure all the concussion protocols have to be gone through. Evan Ferguson is warming up for West Ham United. Later on today, Brentford against Fulham. That's kicking off in about 20 minutes' time, as is Leicester against Ipswich. Both games will have live audio commentary on the FlashScore app. And then at 4:30 UK time, Arsenal against Newcastle United. To finish off our Premier League offering for the day, Newcastle going to Arsenal in what will also have a game that will also have huge implications on the race for Champions League football. So far, Nottingham Forest doing all that they possibly can, with an early goal from Morgan Gibbs-White. It's his 7th of the season, and his 2nd in a row after scoring against Leicester. Previous goal for that was back in February. Bowen has walked off the field, and I think he might be okay to come back on. We'll get a final idea of that in the next few seconds if he goes and stands by the touchline waiting to come on. And of course the camera's panned away just in time, so not too sure. Now Murillo for Forest, up to the halfway line and over to Anderson on the left wing. He plays the ball in field, Sangare, and Bowen is going to be coming back onto the field, which is good to see. Anderson forward to Elanga. He goes down. He was caught in a sandwich by Ward-Prowse and Rodriguez. No foul though, says the referee. West Ham work the ball out to Wan-Bissaka. Down the line he goes to Kudus. Kudus over the halfway line, trying to cut in field. He's got some support in Socek. Socek though can't find the pass out wide to Wan-Bissaka. It's a good interception really by Ola Aina. Sangare now over the halfway line. A pocket of space for Morgan Gibbs-White. Can he force it through to Wood? He can find him. No angle for the shot though, and he plays it against Sofal and wins a corner for Nottingham Forest. Ambitious pass. Well timed in the circumstances. Of course, Chris Wood not able to find the angle for the shot there, but there was no real way, judging by the angles and the speed at which the ball was moving, that it could have been fed into Chris Wood in a way that he could have unleashed an effort on goal. First corner of the game then for Forest. They've got a pocket of big men around the back post. There it goes towards the back post. Wood is climbing, and Wood forces a save from Areola. He's hooked it back in. Gibbs-White with an air shot. Anderson following up. Still alive in the box. Gibbs-White again. Puts in a cross. Headed to the edge of the box. Now Williams has gone down. It's Kudus bringing the ball away, and then a really meaty challenge by Elliot Anderson, which has riled up the crowd somewhat. Anderson has stayed down as if he was just caught. If he has hurt himself, it's very much his own doing. Holding his right knee. Let's hope it's nothing too awkward for Anderson. Eventually Kudus bring it away. Oh, it was a really old-fashioned industrial challenge, we'll call that one, from Elliot Anderson. There's Milinkovic, Wood and Murillo at the back post. Murillo then peeled away to the far post. The ball from Anderson towards Milinkovic and Wood. It was Wood who made contact, and it wasn't a Areola save, in fact. It was off the post. And we've got another break in play now because Elliot Anderson is receiving treatment. Bruno Espirito Santo trying to encourage his players, who have also been in a bad run of form of late after what's been an excellent season. Just in the last 6 games, they've slipped from 3rd in the table to 7th. All they can do now is win their final 2 games. This one, and then it's going to be a huge occasion at the City Ground at home to Chelsea on the last day. The commentary on flash score of that one. We are back underway again. Anderson is not back on the pitch just yet, so Forest down to 10 men as Wan-Bissaka tries to create something. Now Anderson comes back onto the field, back up to their full complement. Or Prowse, away to Cresswell, who puts in a cross, away by Williams. Headed down by Todibo to Kilman. Kilman on halfway, wide he goes. Cresswell in field to Ward-Prowse, now back out wide. Nice pass played through by Wan-Bissaka into Kudus. Kudus finds Bowen. Bowen getting crowded out, has to find the Ghanaian again on the left-hand side of the penalty area. He tries a cross, it deflects up in the air. Easy header away from Murillo. Header down from Cresswell to Wan-Bissaka to keep the move alive. Now Kudus. Kudus gets to the byline, puts a cross over. It's quite deep. Kofal can just head it into a dangerous area, but Forest have enough bodies back. They're able to force West Ham back into their own half, maybe back further, as Alanga was tearing away down the right-hand side to try and beat Kilman to a loose ball, but the former Wolverhampton Wanderers man did just enough. Now another one clipped over the top from Wan-Bissaka. Kudus can't bring it down. Forest clear another ball out to the middle of the park. And West Ham will try and build again. 27 minutes gone. West Ham having a sustained period of pressure ball. That might be the end of that after a poor pass from Sofal. But again, Forest making a rod from their own backs. Awkward pass to Wood, and tried to send it straight back from whence it came and played it straight out of play. Throw in for West Ham United midway inside their own half. Sofal to take. Down the line to Bowen. Bowen turns away well from his marker. Gets inside the area. To the byline. Tries to put a cross in. It's deflected out of play. That was really good from Jared Bowen, who seems to be showing no signs of the clash with the post that he had. He used to have something above one of his eyes. Not sure if it's a plaster or just a bit of gel or something. Ward-Prowse with another corner. Over it comes. Into the centre. Headed away by Murillo. Only as far as Kudus. Back out to Ward-Prowse. He'll send in another cross. He'll drift in field first of all, though. In fact, he won't send in a cross. Back to Cresswell he goes. Sofal now has taken up that place on the right wing. Sofal. Short ball in field to Kudus. Elliot Anderson, who also seems to be showing no signs of his injury, knocks it out of play. Sofal with a throw. Good one towards Guido Rodriguez, the edge of the box, back to Bowen. Nothing doing there for West Ham. Cleared away, but they'll come again. Wan-Bissaka now on the left-hand side. A low ball away by Sangare. Gives White at the edge of his own area. Does enough. Clears to Ola Aina. Forward he goes to Alanga. It's back with Aina again now. Drilled cross-field by Morgan Gibbs White to Nico Williams, who's in a decent amount of space. Down the left-hand side, he's running at Sofal. Gets to the edge of the box, on one poor touch. And the ball ran away from him, and Sofal was just able to shepherd it away and out of play. It will be a goal kick for West Ham United. They have to be wary of those balls into the box from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's registered assists in his last 2 games. Away at Manchester United and at home to Tottenham Hotspur. West Ham have steadied themselves and reached the mythical 40-point mark, which hasn't had any real bearing on Premier League survival for a very, very long time, but we still like to point it out. On third of the match has gone, and Murillo, it looked like he'd lost the ball on the halfway line, but he was fouled. For a second there, West Ham looked like they were about to burst forward with not too many Forest bodies back, but were challenged by Rodriguez. Sangare plays the ball short over the halfway line to Gibbs White, then receives it back. And again, Gibbs White, this time in field. Anderson looking up, plays the ball forward to Wood. Wood has it taken off him by Socek. Good defending by West Ham United. Ward-Prowse looking wide to Wan-Bissaka, who comes in field. Back to Areola, West Ham go. Todibo on the right. Sofal in field. Ward-Prowse. Max Kilman turns and finds Cresswell. Cresswell ventures forward into Nottingham Forest territory. It's got Socek on the wing, uses him, then Cresswell takes it back. Cresswell making his 368th appearance in Claret and Blue this afternoon. Sofal, Bowen, and then Bowen gets upended. Foul and a free kick for West Ham, but not in a particularly dangerous area. He just got clipped there by Murillo. Definite free kick. It's on just a few yards inside the Forest half. And central, so Ward-Prowse will just play it short to Kilman. Kilman then helps it on to Cresswell over on the left. Forward ball, Wan-Bissaka is out there again. Cresswell, now Rodriguez, who'd made a run forward. Gets to the byline, Cresswell, he's in there. Cresswell, can he strike? Oh, and it's been deflected out of play. Sangare. Aaron Cresswell, I just mentioned his appearances. It's been a long time since he last scored, over a year. Guido Rodriguez's cross. Cresswell couldn't gather it, but it ricocheted off a Forest defender back into the path of Cresswell, who went for the back-heeled shot. That would have been some goal by the fullback. Playing as part of a back three today, but he has at least won his side another corner kick. It's been an in-swinger this time from Ward-Prowse. It's towards the back post, so checks there, but a foul in the middle. Chris Wood going down. Said they can complete their first Premier League double. They haven't had a league double at any level since 2011-12 in the Championship. It's Nottingham Forest. In the top flight, they've got to go all the way back to the 1983-84 season under another late great, Brian Clough. And that's generally because West Ham have very good recent home record against Nottingham Forest. Well, that's being tested again now as Wood tries to play a ball through the middle. It's just too far ahead of Elanga, and Alphonse Areola quickly out to the edge of his box to gather. Seven wins and one draw at home since that Kevin Campbell winner on New Year's Day 1997. The only draw back in October 2003. It's 5 matches, 1 in a row at home in all competitions. There's been an FA Cup win or 2 in that time as well. West Ham, they do generally like playing Nottingham Forest at home, but today things just not falling their way. Nottingham Forest, though, with an awful lot more to play for, you have to say. Much more than a bit of pride, at least. And they've one possession back and are moving forward into the Hammers territory. Gibbs White on the left wing. Now he clips on into the area, and it's just... Is it just too far ahead of Williams? He did manage to reach it. No, he didn't. It did cross the line. Nico Williams enjoying a good run in the side. He hadn't got much of a look in the first half of the season. And then he started every single Premier League game in 2025. This is his 27th start. Not all of those in 2025, from the vast majority. Last month going past the 100 game mark for Forest after his move from Liverpool back in 2022. Forest win themselves a throw. Over on the far side, they'll have another go after it was out of play by Guido Rodriguez. 5 minutes left in the first 45. Olaena with another throw, about 20 yards inside West Ham territory. Lays it to Gibbs White, brings it down, has to go around the houses somewhat, finds himself back on the halfway line, and shovels it back to Milenkovic. Now Anderson over the top, and Wood is free. Chris Wood, can he finish? Oh no, it's poor, but it's going to come back to him. Wood with another chance. Wood, oh, what a good save by Areola. I think now the flag has gone up. It has. And just check the right. I think that's. Oh, I think Todibo was actually playing him onside. The flag went up eventually from Akil Howson, the assistant. And Chris Wood, who was scoring it with every touch, it seemed, in the first half of the season, now looks like a player who really has lost some confidence. He did score against Leicester last time out and against Tottenham in April, but those are his only 2 goals since February. 18 goals from August to February, including against West Ham United, but just those 2 since. And it looked like he tried to play that across rather than go for the shot. There would be absolutely no way a couple of months ago that he would have not tried to blast that past the goalkeeper. I think he just tried to play it in field to the runner coming in on the left-hand side of the area. Deflected off the West Ham defender and back to him. Finally took the shot on the second time, and Areola made the save. It's not going to count because the flag went up and he was signalled for offside, but had that gone in, I think it might have counted. I think he did time his run well. Chris Wood. Not quite as sure of himself in front of goal as he has been for much this season. Marauding run from Murillo. Doesn't come to anything after he makes his way well inside West Ham territory. Hammers recover possession. Areola spreads it wide to Crespel on the left. Wan-Bissaka now. Square to Kudus. Helped on now to Todibo on the right hand side. Ahead of him is Sofal. Sofal attempts one down the line for Jared Bowen to chase. Nico Williams does well to get ahead of him, and then the ball deflects off the England international and out of play for a goal kick. As well as Murillo back in the starting lineup. They are happy to have Callum Hudson-Odoi back on the bench. Had a minor hamstring problem which kept him out for a couple of games. Sure yet if they will need to call on him during this game. Long clearance with the goal kick from Sells. Ball back to Williams. He attempts another long one into the West Ham half, but again comes sailing back and eventually goes out of play. It'll be a Forest throw, only a few yards from their own corner flag. Murillo the closest man to it. Two other matches in the Premier League have just kicked off in the last couple of minutes. Brentford against Fulham and Leicester against Ipswich. Brentford. And Brentford still chasing European football. Leicester City against Ipswich, the much awaited battle for 18th place in the Premier League table. Nico Williams takes the throw in for Forest, gets some distance on it, but Sopal heads it forward. Bowen, he thinks lively start to this game. Both sides already testing the goalkeepers. Not just testing them, but bringing out the best of them. Ball over the top now for Elanga. Just knocks it down. Wood will strike and another save. Wood from 25 yards drilled it. Wasn't the most difficult for Areola, but he had to react well and palm it away. Aaron Wan-Bissaka trying to bring the ball forward now for the Hammers. Plays a nice one too, but can't get much further. Forest recover possession in the middle third of the field. Elliot Anderson to Williams. Williams with the ball over the top. It's just beyond Wood. Runs on through to Alphonse Areola. James Ward-Prowse. Now ball in field to Rodriguez. He goes over to Todibo on the right. Ball played along the West Ham back three, then forward to Rodriguez again, who's facing his own goal, so uses Max Kilman. Todibo again, a bit short of ideas at the moment. Touch for the goalkeeper. Bissaka. Kudus retreating and giving away possession. Maybe a chance here for Nottingham Forest. They played it forward to Anthony Elanga. Elanga trying to cut in field. Uses Chris Wood. Chris Wood trying to get it out of his feet. Finds Elanga again. Elanga goes down in the area. Referee not interested. Didn't look like a foul. Anthony Elanga still claiming. The ball is still in play, so no chance of a check just yet. The slightest of shirt pulls from Max Kilman, but not sure that's enough for a penalty. Chris Wood did well to keep the move alive. The ball slightly behind him. He had to really dig it out of his feet and did well in traffic to... Oh, it's given away cheaply. Surely it's going to be a goal. Oh, that's dreadful from Alphonse Areola. And Nottingham Forest have taken the lead. It's Morgan Gibbs-White who scored it. 10.5 minutes gone in the game. And for all the good work from Alphonse Areola so far, he's just had a shocker there. And the number 9 shirt is handed to Morgan Gibbs-White, who holds it up as clearly Taiwo Awoniyi is at the forefront of the Nottingham Forest players' minds. You know, what an awful goal to concede. There was no real pressure on Areola. He was looking for Guido Rodriguez at the edge of his own box. He passed it straight to Morgan Gibbs-White, who was stood only 10 yards ahead of him. Really sloppy. Nothing Rodriguez could have done about it. Oh, that was really poor. How on earth Areola just didn't see the England international straight in front of him. Nuno Espirito Santo and his backroom team won't mind. They will take any goal at the moment, as has been their poor form. No wins in the last 4 in all competitions, but they've taken a lead in this one. West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham have got us moving again. Or from Ward-Prowse to Souček. He can't keep it in play. Bit of an awkward one for him. Taiwo Awoniyi, after colliding with the post in the 2-2 draw with Leicester City, needed abdominal surgery and even had to be put into an induced coma during the surgery, but still everything went well in the end, according to his manager. It's now going through his recovery period. Really nasty clash, and of course a debate about whether or not linesmen should allow play to continue with the potential offsides. But you know what would happen if they went back to the old rule? They'd flag when there wasn't an offside and a perfectly good goal in a big game would be disallowed. You can understand why it was brought in. Everyone was happy about it in the first place, apart from the players who said we risk unnecessary injury, and that was certainly the case for Taiwo Awoniyi in the 2-2 draw with Leicester last time out. In the meantime, now Forest trying to build something and push for a second goal, but they're building very slowly. They had to go all the way back to Milinkovic and indeed then to Sells. Sells clears. Sofal climbs well, but he can only head it on to Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White now trying to come through the middle. Finds Elanga now on the left-hand side. Elanga slows things down for the moment, waits for support, finds it in Anderson. Anderson helps it in field to Nico Williams. Back out to the Swede, Elanga. Now Elliot Anderson taking over on the wing. He thinks about the cross. Finally digs one out. It's not the best. Cleared out of the area. Back on the halfway line now. Sangare. Forward. Anderson. Elanga. Williams on the outside. Drills it in. Anderson. Did he take it over the line? Yes, he did. Couldn't dig out the cross in time. His first touch a little bit heavy. Nico Williams really drilled it into him from only a few yards away. It was a difficult one to control. He was calling for the ball, Anderson, but not quite a hospital pass from Nico Williams, but certainly not the easiest one he's ever received. Elliot Anderson. And again, West Ham trying to play their way out of trouble, and again giving the ball away, this time to Ola Aina. He finds Gibbs-White. Poor pass from him to Sangare, but he's able to recover possession, find Williams. Williams down the line to Elanga. He gets knocked off the ball by Jean-Claire Todibo. Todibo down the line to Sofal. Sofal flips one forward to Kudus, but he's had the ball taken from him. Forest possession again in the middle of the park. A quarter of an hour gone. It's been a lively one at the London Stadium. Who on earth said that West Ham have nothing to play for? They do find themselves a goal down, but not for the want of trying. 2-0 win against Manchester United last time out ended a run of 8 without a win for the Hammers. Failing to beat Tottenham, throwing away a late lead against Brighton, 1-1 against Southampton. They've drawn their last 3 at home. They've never drawn 4 in a row at home in top flight. In Premier League history. The last time they did it in the top flight was in April of 1985, 40 years ago. And they will have to find a way back into this game if they are going to achieve that. Not that it's an achievement they are really seeking at the start of this game. Ball forward to Bowen, who goes down on the halfway line. Referee Sam Barrett not interested. Forest win possession back. Ola Aina 10 yards inside his own half, looking for a pass. Has to go back to Murillo. Murillo trying to orchestrate things in the moment. Short one forward to Gibbs-White. It's coming back his way via Aina. Milinkovic now. Forward again to the Nigerian. Good use of the ball there from Forest. They were patient, waiting for a bit of space to open up, and they find it with Anderson across to the left-hand side. Nico Williams. Good tackle though by Guido Rodriguez. Possession back with the Claret and Blue. James Ward-Prowse having to stretch, does well to find Kilman. This ball being kicked. I've been back underway for about a minute. Not that anything has happened of note. I can tell you that West Ham United have a throw-in. Sofal takes 10 yards inside his own half. Into the middle of the park with Max Kilman. Now Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And don't forget that. It looked for a second like Paquetá had been taken off, and no, there was an erroneous graphic on the screen. Ola Aina now to Anderson. Wide to Nicolas Dominguez, who has A runner ahead of him in Morgan Gibbs-White, and Gibbs-White wins a corner for West Ham. Good block on the cross by Edson Alvarez, couldn't prevent another Nottingham Forest set piece. We're going to have a lot of time added on at the end of this second half. Now Nottingham Forest looking for their third goal. They've just had one excellent delivery from Anthony Alanga, and he's responsible for this corner kick. It's going to be an outswinger this time with his right foot. Over it comes towards the near post this time, headed up in the air by Nicolas Dominguez. It's kept in over on the far side by Elliot Anderson, trying to hold off the challenge of Jean-Claire Todibo. Links up well with Morgan Gibbs-White. Now Sangare. Nottingham Forest maintaining possession in the West Ham half, but going backwards with it for the moment. Gibbs-White trying to do something about that. Plays it in fields. Murillo clips it out to the left wing. Anderson's out there. Can he put the cross over? It deflects not once but twice and cleared. Kudus trying to tidy things up at the back for West Ham. His pass a little bit loose. Todibo inside his own area. Needs a bit of support. Finds it in Vladimir Sofal. Forward to Bowen. He gets crowded out once again. Milenkovic almost showed a bit too much of that to Fulkrug. 20 minutes of the 90 left. We'll be hanging around for a bit longer than that. Alphonse Areola on the ball. Short pass to Kilman. Now there's space on the right hand side for Vladimir Sofal. He's up and over the halfway line. He's still going. Cutting infield now, Sofal trying to feed one through. It's ricocheted back to Carlos Soler. Fancies the strike himself, and a good save by Matt Sells. Decent strike by Carlos Soler. He faked the shot once, just to give himself an extra little bit of time and space. And get away from Sangare, who was trying to cover. Switched the ball onto his right foot. And the ball was heading into the goal, but a nice height in the end for Matt Sells. Still had to make the save. Over comes the corner, headed away by Murillo, who's looks rather awkward, having landed, making the jump, limping slightly as he landed there. Murillo still feeling the effects of that injury at the end of the first half. Sofal now. Wide to Lucas Paquetá. Finds Bowen. Bowen at the byline. Tries to put the first time ball over it. Ricochets out of play. Now the corner for West Ham. This will be their 6th of the match. With just over 18 minutes still to play. Over it comes now. Fulkrug climbing, but a good header away this time by Chris Wood. Either side really able to bring the ball down. Nicolas Dominguez finally heads it on, but Anthony Alanga can't keep it in play over on the far side. West Ham take the throw into Soler. It's knocked out of play, and Sofal will have another throw to take. This time he finds Edson Alvarez. Forward to Paquetá. Wide he goes. Bowen drills it across. Fulkrug can't get a shot onto it, and Milenkovic is the man to turn it out of play. Another corner for West Ham. West Ham United 1-5 and drawn 2 of their last 7 final home league games. Well, the corner is played short to Kudus, and he sends a cross sailing over the top of the bar. Yeah, it looks like West Ham are edging nearer to a first defeat in the final league game at home since a 4-0 drubbing at the hands of Liverpool at the end of the 2016-17 season. Talking of Liverpool, they are the only team to have more away league wins this season than Nottingham Forest. They have 9 so far and are 16.5 minutes plus added time away from number 10. Champions Liverpool on 11. Long goal kick from Sells, contested in the middle of the park, eventually cleared